A lot of creators think that the YouTube algorithm is some sort of mysterious system that only benefits bigger creators while ignoring smaller channels, but it's really not that difficult. Now, once you understand exactly what it is that YouTube wants from you as a creator, making content gets a whole lot easier. Now, there's 4 steps that every video on YouTube goes through, and as a part of today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Welcome in, guys. My name's Fareed. Today, we're talking about the YouTube algorithm and 4 key phases that every YouTube video goes through before the algorithm decides to show it to the masses. And so before we dive into those 4 phases, as always, if you get value from this video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. If you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the algorithm, feel free to voice off down below. Now we're diving straight into phase number 1, which is what happens when you immediately upload your first video or just a generic video into the YouTube platform. And so what YouTube does is it runs it through a sample set. Now that sample set will be an audience who likes to watch content similar to the content that you've uploaded. And so what YouTube is trying to do is see, can we get an initial set of people to actually watch the video? Now, if they're able to do that, what YouTube then does is it moves into phase 2, also known as the click test. And so YouTube will now begin to show your video to more people. And what it's looking for is confirmation that people are actually clicking on that video. And that's why your thumbnail and your title are so important. This is essentially the first impression that anybody outside of that sample set is going to see. And if that's enough to get them through the door, then YouTube understands that maybe there is something to this video that's bringing people a sense of satisfaction or a sense of value. At the end of the day, YouTube is about viewer satisfaction, not creator satisfaction. I think a lot of people think that that's YouTube's focus is the creators. But if there's no audience, YouTube serves no value. And so at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your content can resonate with a specific audience. And if you're able to do that with a clear title and a clear and clean thumbnail that matches the title, 9 out of 10 times you'll be able to get people to click on that video. And so that's why your thumbnails and title matter. Now, if people don't click on the video, essentially what YouTube will do is continue to show people and give them the opportunity to click on the video through what is called impressions. But if people don't click on the video, YouTube will essentially say, okay, something is off here. We can't keep showing or impressing this video on people if they're not interested. This is where the measure for CTR or click-through rate comes in. It's essentially a measure of how many people have chosen to click on your video based on the impressions or the amount of times YouTube has shown your video to a potential viewer. Now, once they click or they pass the click test, we move into the watch test. And this is where things get really important because you can get people in the door, but if you don't deliver value or if your title doesn't match the actual content, then people will click out. So the YouTube algorithm then asks, once they've got people through the door, are those viewers continuing to watch? Are they leaving pretty quickly within the first 20 to 30 seconds? Are they finishing the video? And if they are finishing the video, what that tells YouTube is that there's obviously something there of value, whether it's educational value or entertainment value, that's keeping that viewer there. This is where the following measures come in: watch time and retention. These are arguably the 2 most important things when it comes to YouTube nowadays. Retention means that you're keeping people watching throughout the video, and watch time is typically based off of how long the video is. Now, for a lot of creators, you're not going to have everybody watching 100% of the videos, but the higher that watch time is, the higher that retention, the higher the likelihood that the YouTube algorithm will continue to push that video out, which then brings us into phase number 4, where YouTube tries to establish how much satisfaction did they just provide to the potential viewer. And so this is where you have the factoring in of things like likes, comments, the duration of the actual view, and then whether or not the viewer keeps watching more videos. And this is also where YouTube recommendations can really come in. The longer that people can stay on YouTube, the better that benefits YouTube. And if they're coming to you and they're staying and watching your videos, YouTube is more likely to continue showing your videos because they know and they figured out that people will stick around to watch your content. So in closing here, I want to remind you guys that the algorithm doesn't promote videos, it promotes viewer satisfaction. And that will bring me to the end here for today's video, breaking down the 4 steps that every video goes through before the algorithm decides to push it out to the masses. And that's the initial sample size, the click test, the watch test, followed by the engagement or satisfaction test. If you guys have found this video to be helpful, I would appreciate it if you could smash that thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. If you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave a comment down below. That said, I'll see you guys in the next one.